Hey everybody, got a request to do this song Half Nelson, and let me play a little bit of it. One, two, three. What is this? My printer died, so those last couple of notes I can't quite see on the page, but you'll be able to see them just fine since I did a PDF of the chart down there in the description. Now, I was just thinking, a lot of people are into buying vinyl records these days. And I was trying to play along with this song on YouTube, and I found it to be slightly out of key. It's like tuned up just a little bit, so either my piano's out of tune or it's out of tune, but, it's kind of in the cracks. If you have a turntable and have, a record that you want to play along with, a lot of turntables have a little adjustment for the speed, and you can just slightly lower it or raise it, and so you'll be right in tune. For me, that's about the only reason to really bother with a turntable these days. If you like vinyl, if you like spending $20 on a vinyl record, and then, 6 months later you start hearing those little snap, crackle, and pops as the dust gets in the grooves, no matter how well you take care of it. If you like that, that's cool. But pick up some records at the Goodwill or wherever you can find them cheap, and play along with them using a turntable with that adjustable speed. All right, let's get to the song. Now, I learned a new word here. I feel like a college kid all of a sudden. Contrafact. So this is a word that, if you know the meaning of it, it won't help you play any better, but it's like a song that's built on the changes of another song. So, for instance, and I got a list of them right here, Donna Lee is built on Indiana. I kind of know the song Donna Lee. I don't even know Indiana. Sweet Georgia Brown, Miles Davis, I think, did a song called Dig based on those changes. Chick's Tune, I don't know that one. But here's the one we're covering today, Half Nelson. And I did a video pretty recently about Lady Bird. So if you want to find it, search for Lady Bird Tony Winston. All right? And it should pop right up. Now, all I'm going to cover on this is a little bit about reading the rhythm of this melody, and maybe a tiny bit about improvising that change there at the end that I screwed up. But like I say, if you want to look at the chord changes and the harmony more in depth, just look up Lady Bird. So the rhythm, 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and 1 and a 2. All right, now that's a tricky rhythm to get. I saw a video recently by somebody I highly respect in the YouTube business, in the piano education business, and he's a great piano player, plays Rings Around Me, Jeremy Siskind. And he took like a Charlie Parker riff or something and analyzed the rhythm and then tried to create a bunch of lines using that. And the idea is that you will increase your rhythmic vocabulary by doing this. I think that's true in a way, but I don't think that's really the best way to kind of build your vocabulary. To me, the best way to build your vocabulary is to play along with records, and every rhythm you hear, you just try to copy it, even if the notes are wrong, the chords are wrong, whatever. You just play along, listen to the piano accompanying to get some, comping rhythms, listen to the soloist to get the rhythms. So let's take this line, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So, we could try the same line over here. Maybe add a little bit to it or something. So, ba-da-ba-ba-da-boom-ba, ba-da-ba-ba-da-boom-ba. You get that rhythm going in your head, it'll become part of your vocabulary. Another reason my vocabulary is fairly weak when it comes to rhythm is because I have not played a lot of jazz with like quartets and bigger groups, and played along with, good saxophone soloists or trumpet soloists. So, I've not absorbed it by playing. It's usually, me as a trio. So, I listen to the drummer for ideas, but they're not going to have the same ideas as a sax player. All right, now this is the hardest part of the song to improvise on, because you're going to a couple of chords that are kind of outside of the key center of C. So if you were having fun in C before, you're not going to have any fun here unless you work out something. So now you have to recognize F and B flat as being a 2-5 in E flat. All right, it doesn't go to E flat, but it's a 2-5 in E flat. So we've got to play the E flat major scale or something else that works. All right. Now I'm also playing a lot of rootless voicing, so if you need help with that, you know where to go. Tony Winston Jazz Piano College. I got a zillion videos about rootless voicings, and I make them pretty clear too. You can understand it. I'm sounding like Miles Davis this morning. I don't know what's wrong with my voice. Got to lay off stuff, So now another thing is, we've got F minor to B flat, and then that same thing again. When you're improvising, you just simplify that in your mind. One measure of F minor, one measure of B flat, and, it's the same scale for kind of both chords. So really just think about the E flat scale. You could play F minor for 6 beats and then B flat for the last 2 beats. You could think B flat the whole way. B flat suspended, which is like F minor. And then, you want to make that line end back in the key of C major. And if you can, keep on going. Beat up. Okay. And of course, there's better scales to use on the B flat chord. A little bit of altered or whatever that was. And let's get down to the change here. All right. All right, now this is real typical. It's a 2-5-1 in A flat. And, we get there in a kind of a jazzy way by being up a half step and then down here. This is a common reharm in a lot of songs, and it's also I think it's in Round Midnight, All right, so next time I play Round Midnight, I hope I don't play that, because I don't know. It's kind of a cheap way to get through the changes. Now. All right, but it's kind of a nice rhythm, so we could go and steal that rhythm and do our own thing on it. And all I did was the chord extensions. B minor 9th, E flat 13. I just went up and down those. Or you could think A major scale, A flat major scale, right? Because B and E is a 2-5 in A, right? Even though it doesn't go there. All right, then we stay on A flat for a little while. Always looking for ways to reharmonize, 2 measures of the same chord. So we've got A flat, put that sharp 5 in. And I noticed they did that up in the bar 5 with C. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. All right, now that's something you would definitely leave out if you were improvising. But, if you're just playing a melody and it kind of goes along those changes, there's nothing wrong with that. See, I put a little bit of G7 in there. once again, we've got, too many chords. Just do A minor. All right, and I use some D diminished scale there, and that's the half whole because it's a dominant chord. So D, half, then whole. That's how you handle it on a dominant chord. If it's a diminished chord like F sharp 7th, you handle it with a whole step first. And you see it's going to be the same scale here. D 7th, flat 9. All right, but thinking of the F diminished, got a whole step. If you're still thinking of it as a D chord, half step. Same scale either way. All right, so. All right, let's take a look at this change here at the end. We've got another thing I didn't cover in my Lydian video that was up recently there. Look for that thumbnail with the red background. Yeah, I just learned how to make better thumbnails. Not that I'm going to waste much time doing it, but I learned. So on E flat, if it's a major 7th chord that's not the key of the song, all right, so any major 7th chord besides C major 7th, try the Lydian. Now, if this one goes by so quick, we could just stick on the E flat major scale, which is the Lydian scale in A flat. See, in A flat, see how many flats do I have? 3, right? So it's the E flat major scale. And there's the Lydian note right there. So let's just use E flat major scale for these two chords. And then it's pretty close to this scale, D flat Lydian, which is the A flat major scale. All right, and there's the Lydian note right there. All right, now some ideas about how to get through this. All right. That is an idea that has been used many, many times. It's just 1, 2, 3, 5 on each chord. Now you can maybe change the direction. You could try other things. Could just say the heck with the whole bunch and just play that A flat major scale over the whole thing. You could do a bunch of chromatic stuff. I don't know. Just thinking about the major chord above each chord. So F major on the E flat gives you that Lydian idea. B flat here and E flat there. So let's see if that works. Let's see. Yeah, all right. All good ideas coming to you live and in person from Tony Winston's Jazz Piano College with over 100,000 subscribers. How the hell did I ever get there? I have no idea. I put up stuff I think will be great, and it fails, and then I put up something that I think is going to be overlooked, like what was that song? Dream a Little Dream of Me, and I start getting 500 subscribers every day. So the YouTube algorithm is a mystery, and it will remain so until the end of time.